Yeah, let me answer some of your questions. First of all, Flex is definitely used for building components. And like I said, there's an XML backend or a database backend, and it's just a data animal. That's why we switched from Flash to Flex. I mean, it's just great. And so you could actually create one of these things, and whatever you said, tell the database to grab or the XML sheet to grab, and it'll grab and put it in the component. Second, Flex is completely free for educators. So you can go to the Adobe website, go to the basically the I believe it's the educator site, and there's a little form to fill out, and you fax in your ID, and then like in a day or two they'll send you back the license.
Oh, okay.
They're really good about it. You don't wait 2 weeks; it's like the next day. And I have a video on YouTube on how to get Flex for free. So, but for me, I think it's fantastic. So you can't beat it. I mean, it's like the old front page. We all had front page for free, right? But now we all have Flex for free, and there's no strings attached. We're not even paying for it at all. So and what we want to do now is show you the big secret. And what we're going to do is show you how to bring this component into a state. And I don't think you're going to find this in any textbook anywhere. This is something we figured out. So, and it's fantastic. A lot of people bring components in all the time, but not into states. And so that's something you can't find very, very much on the web. So let me show you the big secret. It's not hard at all. And here's right here. You got to add child. That's it. Everything that's put on inside of this on the stage, you have to use an add child to put it there. And so you sandwich this component that you created. Mine is views screen 01 component. Now you wonder where you get the name views. Well, screen 1, that's what I called my component. That's great. At least I think I did when I made this the first time. I may not have called it that this time. But you're going to use this language right here. I'm going to show you how to get it without it, just by cut and pasting, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create what's called a namespace. And that might sound like a very strange thing. But here we have this XMLNS views components.star. Now, what the heck does that mean? First of all, XMLNS is a namespace. I'm going to give this component I created a name so I can bring it out on the Flex stage. So that's just the syntax for doing that. I've decided I'm going to call it views. You can call it anything. You can call it the three pigs. I mean, anything you want to call it. You can call it colon, whatever you want to call it. Equals, and use a quote components. That's the name of the folder from the SRC folder. And that dot star, what's that? That's a wildcard. That means to say call everything that's inside the component stage to my stage if I need it. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this particular statement in my applications tag. So I'm going to copy it here. See, I can copy this. You guys have to type it, but luckily it's not that much typing. I'm going to go up here and go to my source view. I'm going to go up to my action. Now look at here in my applications tag. I already have a namespace. You see that? That's the Adobe namespace. I'm going to create a new namespace by pasting this in there. Okay? And what it's saying, my new namespace is views, and it's going to grab everything from the components folder and give me access to it. So as soon as I put that in there, watch what happens if I start typing my bracket. I start getting code hinting, and if I type views, oh my goodness, it shows me whatever I have inside that folder. You see this right here? Views, state 01 comp. That's what I have in my folder.
Mike, which state are you in right now?
Right now, I'm not in a state yet. I just wanted to show you that it's recognizing it. It's ready to bring it to stage. So don't do this here.
Right.
That'll be a large error. So let's get out of that. I want to be in state 1. I want to do this in state 1. I'm going to try to see if I can find state 1. So I'll go to design. I'll go to Windows. I'll go to states, and I'll just click on state 1 and see if that helps me out any. Then I'll go back to source, open that up a little bit, and it really didn't help me any. But it's labeled state 1. Well, there you go. See that? And the next one's labeled what? State 2, state 3, whatever. But what I want to do, I'm going to come along here to state 1, open that up a little bit. This is actually going to be really fairly easy and fairly painless, believe it or not. And see right here, let me close this real quick so I can have more space here. I'm trying to open this up a little bit. Get rid of that. Sorry. Just one second. Now see right here, I've got this add child. And sandwiched in there is my label and then add child. The next one's an add child. Anything I put on the stage, I had to do what? Add a child. I'm just going to take this right here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to open up some space just below it, and I'm going to paste it. And I didn't have to type any code at all. Now what that's going to do for me right now is that's going to add that same label on top of itself. I don't want that label. What do I want? I want my component. So I'm going to come along here and just type in the less than sign, views, you see that? And double click on there, and there's my statement. And I can go ahead and close that with a closing bracket. Okay? I'm going to leave that there on stage for you guys just a little bit so you can get that. And then, of course, you want to save it just to see if there's any errors. And hopefully I don't get any errors. No errors there. Hopefully not. It's processing a little bit down here. There's no errors. And is everyone there right now? You should have your name state in, and you should have your... I mean, for us guys coming from ActionScript 8 to 9, or CS3, this was the big change, the whole display model. It completely changed. We had written 60,000 lines of code. We had one of the most advanced, what I considered Flash 8 systems. That was pretty much equivalent to what Holly was putting out. It was a learning management system we built. It was better than what the Navy was doing at that time. And suddenly they switched to Flash 9, and that 60,000 lines of code did not work anymore. And a lot of it had to do with this whole idea of display model. That's how the new Flash CS3 puts things on the stage. But actually it's more powerful and allows us to do 3D, so we're happy with that. But we had to, in a sense, start over again. And that was very painful. We're not going to have that happen to us again. Notice that all these are referenced to Canvas 1. That's the canvas that you threw in on stage, that center beginning canvas. If you put something on here and it's not referenced to Canvas 1, it's probably not going to look right unless you've got some other complex thing you're doing. So as soon as you do that, you hit design mode, you should see in state 1 that component on the stage. And then all you have to do is grab it and drag it wherever you want it to go. So you just drag it around and position it. And that's a really nice feature. Now, if you want to go back and edit that component, all you have to do from within here is just double click on it. That'll take you back a level. So you can edit the component right here in the same screen as your stage is. And so when you're done with that, you just click back over here at the top menu back to the original component. That is super cool and makes Flex very powerful and easy to build things with. I'm going to walk around and see how everyone's doing. Okay, let me just say a few things. This is really not very pretty yet, and there's a lot of work to be done here, but the basis thing was to show you how the two things, how to work with states and components in conjunction with each other. I don't like the color. I want to change the color here, still just do a little bit of styling here. So I can click on that back thing right there, the back end. Just go to my Flex Properties. Remember, Flex Properties always gives me the styling ability. And Cascading Style Sheets, that's another lecture. So I bring up my Flex Properties, and I can actually change the color of that background. Open this up. So if I click on this little bucket right here, hopefully I can change the background. I'm going to change it to white. It looks a little bit better, not much better. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. Of course, I'm lazy. I'm going to throw it over to my designers and say, you guys do it. But, the thing about being a faculty member, you have to wear all the hats. I mean, you really do. And that's the thing, the difference between industry and being faculty. And when you're in industry, they have all these segmented components, and one guy does this, and one guy does that, and one guy does this. But as an instructional designer, or even a faculty member, you've got to do it all. You do your own design, you do your own programming, you do your own component building. I mean, see, you pick up these skills one by one. And if you were lucky enough as I am and got a few designers, then you can just pass it on to them. But if I didn't, I have to go and actually style this myself. So we're going to just talk about one more thing. Now you guys say, Mike, you have been merciless today. No mercy has been shown, no quarter has been drawn. And that's really true. I mean, I have. But I want to show you a resource out there that you'll thank me for showing it to you if I can get it up here real quick. I'm not having the time with Word. Is this 2007? Okay, what Adobe has done, they have what's called 5 days of training. They only have 4 of them on the web, but it's an extensive step-by-step tutorial on how to do Adobe Flex, and it's free, so I'm going to go there and show it to you real quick. And it is extensive, so they've done it all here. And so you can go here to this website. I put it in the very front of your document there. Let me move it over here. There you go. And you can start with Flex Basics and just start going through these step by step. And it really, they really go through just about everything you want to know. Now, what they're not going to show you is how to build a website like this and how to work with states and components in conjunction with each other. So that's what I've showed you today. Now, if you took what I did just today, you could apply that to every single page in this design document and build this out. Okay, and it's going to take you a day or two to build this out. Once this is built out, then you do all the back-end programming, and You know, website typically like this could take me maybe 300-400 hours to finish completely up. So that's pretty much what I want to show you guys today. Are there any questions?
I have a question for you, but I'll ask you later.
But I just want to show you, this is all going to go on the web, so you guys can review this tutorial. And go to these sites right here, and if you go through this and you go back through this again, you'll be able to build anything you want. I promise you that. Okay, good.